Hey guys, I have washed and primed the belly plate. You can see it's pretty small. Oops, let me get you up a little higher. You can see it's pretty small. I still think it'll work okay with him. I mean, it's kind of small as far as width, but for the purpose of pictures and stuff, it should be okay. But that's it. It's got nice texture to it because of the primer. We're going to go ahead and put creases on it and blue shading, and then we'll add, my eyes are itchy, sorry, we'll add some mottling layers. Oh man, my eyes super itchy. Must be kitty cat hair. Anyway, and then this is our crease color from the last video. Just a little wetter. I know there's not a whole lot left, but I definitely wanted to keep it to do the crease on the belly plate. And then we'll add more to it, and it'll change the color obviously because there's two different colors in there, and you can never mix the same exact color every time. So make sure you've got enough to do at least one layer over the whole doll before you do a second layer, because you can't get the exact color twice. Even if you only had one, you mean like the consistency and stuff. Alright, glasses first, crease brush, and sponge. So when we do these, we're going to do under the belly. Again, this is the one from Bountiful Baby. It's some aspen leaf size, so I think it said 15 to 17 inch, but you could get any one of them that you wanted to. So just kind of coloring in the creases a little bit. Ooh, my tummy's grumbling. Okay. First off, I'm going to blot because I put a lot on there. And I'm not too concerned about getting it perfectly in those creases right now. Eventually the whole belly button's going to be pink anyway. So, and if you do this ethnic, it's the same. You would want to do the creases first before you start doing any of the darker skin tones. Under there and there. And the sun's a little in the way. It's noon here, so it's kind of bright. And I haven't got my curtains yet, but I'm going to be working on them. I keep saying that, don't I? I'll work on them. I'll eventually get them done, I promise. There's a lot going on right now. Normally something I'd have my stepmom do for me, but she's a teacher, so, you know, I didn't want to ask her right now. She's got her hands full with little kiddos. I think she teaches 3rd grade. I did my student teaching in 3rd grade. Those kids were wild. I did like student teaching though. It was fun. Okay, so we did that, and there's a crease up on the neck, so I will definitely, whoops, get that in there. So, there we go. I don't want to go too crazy. I should have. Sorry, I'm shaking a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Took my kitty cat to the vet. She's pretty sick. I got some scary news. Still a little upset, but I love painting, so maybe that'll help calm me down a little. Okay, so if there's any creases, like on the armpit or down in here on the sides, you want to get those. Now, you just, basically you're just shading them because they're pretty wide. They're not like deep or anything. Okay, so we're going to do the little nipples, and just like the lips, we're going to do the whole thing. Blot, blot, blot. Kind of helps bring them to life a little. And then we're going to, he's got some ribbies right there, which is cool. I love this belly plate because he's got some like indentions from ribs and stuff. So we are going to bring those to life, so to speak. And we'll also hit them with blue when we do our blue shading. A little bit there and there. It's kind of cool, right? Make sure it's blended and it's not like a big scratch line. But that's that. Now with this one, see, he's got little, they're so cute. So with this one, I'm going to have to put some red on him because look. I mean, this one's bone white and this vinyl's kind of a pretty pink anyway, but he's going to be a reddish baby. So I'm going to have to put some washes on this little, but I'm doing the washes in straight red. I don't want to do them in that because I think it'll pink them up too much. Oh, it is pretty close. So I think a couple of red layers on this will be good, but I won't put the red layers on until after I've done the mottling that I want. And then when I come back, I'll do the blue. After it's baked, I'll do the little blue spots that looks like indentions in there, like here and here. And right up there because it's sunk in, and a little bit right there. Anywhere that I want it to look like it's down inside, like underneath here, because I want it, basically what it does is it raises, like optical illusion wise, it'll raise these little ribs up so it's a little bit more noticeable. And then we'll also want to put some on the little belly button too. But that is as far as we're gonna go. Here, see, this looks weird. Okay, I'll add some here too. Okay, so that's as far as we're going to do on the creasing on this little thing. And if you wanted to do a second layer of creases, go right ahead. I'm just doing one at a time and for a little while because I want to see. Man, there's some primer everywhere. I did not get this baby pounce very well when I was priming. There we go. So I've only done the one and I have not baked it, but you're welcome to do two because we're going to end up doing several anyway. So it's up to you when you want to do them. But we're going to do some mottling, and I want to put blue on first, and I need to clean up a little spot. And we're going to work on blue shade and blue model. And first off, we're going to do the blue shade because once you do the model, the whole thing's wet. And when you do just the shading, only the parts that you want shaded are wet. So this is the vein. A little more than that because we're going to also use it for modeling. So, handy, right? And we also use it for veining, so it's good to have it. Okay, so we've got it model consistency, nice amount flows. If it's not dark enough, no biggie, we'll just add more pink to it. Okay, so we need this brush, or a little makeup brush that's small like that, and let's see, what else do I need? A little brush to brush it on. I could use my crease brush, but let me see if I got another one. If I have another one here. Okay. There we go. This is one of the brushes I bought the other day. New brush. Man, I got dirty palettes. I have not cleaned up my paint from the last baby. I try to use it as much as I can, but obviously I don't need blonde color, so we're going to clean that up. And I'm going to make a well with just thinner, so you can clean brushes. Oops, I can go in the trash. Okay. We'll grab the baby's head. Alright. Really wish that sun wasn't in that space there. It's kind of a weird angle. It's almost like it'd be better if it was completely in the shade. Okay, so I want to put right there in that eye socket thing and up towards the wrinkle in his forehead. Right in there. Shade it really good. So you're gonna make that little, I'll call it a well because I don't know what else to call it. And you're gonna draw it right across the top of the eyelid, and up and out. You go like off excess. I said SS. That won't make any sense. You don't want any excess hanging out. So we are shading is what we're doing with this. I don't want it up on that, so to speak, but I do want it across the top of the eyelid. Yeah, I can't even see in the shade. Okay, so I wanted to cross the top of the eyelid, like right here. And now we're going to put some on his nose. Bridge of the nose there. Ooh, my stomach, man, is grumbly today. It's just digesting, I think. Alrighty, and now we're going to put. Got my paint out of the way because I have a good mind to always get paint everywhere. Okay, so he's got some pretty cool indentions. Do you see that? Now you can see them better because I have them shaded in. It's usually kind of like a dip or a Nike swoosh. There's one on the temple. Oh man, my stomach, goodness. See what I mean by stray paint? Craziness. A bunch of stray paint all over the doll. And I'm very good about getting stray paint all over the doll. Stir up my paint. I like it. I like to grab it off the side well, so it's still wet, but it's not, you know, overly powerful. I'm gonna put just a little bit right there in the furrow of his brow. So I want that shaded in so that you can tell he's all frinkly there. As my dad used to say, quit frinkling your frown. Frinkling your brow. Something like that. He used to say something like that. He also used to say that crease that goes down your forehead when you scowl like that, he goes, that's gonna stick that way and it'll never go away. And I'm like, when I was a kid, I was like, I hope not. Of course, I've got one. Since I did that a lot, I've got a line that goes kind of down my forehead. So I guess my dad was right. So I guess parents do have a pretty good idea when they say don't make that face or it'll stick that way. It's funny, isn't it? Life tip. Don't make that face or your wrinkle lines will show it. Okay, and I want that little triangle area right on the corner of the nose. Make sure you don't get it on the actual nostril because that looks weird. Okay, and we're going to, since he's got a pretty deep, I don't know what that is, right there on his lip. Is it called the septum? Something like that? Septum? Something. Of course, I pulled it out. We don't want it on the lip itself. Put it in his nose. I want his nose to look deep. Deeper than I regularly do. Man, stop it, stomach. More than I regularly do. Regularly? Man, I cannot talk this morning. Why can I not talk? Regularly. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Forced. Okay. I don't want it on the nostrils yet. Now, if you wanted to, we can kind of put it right up underneath the nostrils. That's a good spot to put blue. But again, make sure it's not up on the nostril itself. Okay. Pretty happy. We're gonna put, I wanna accentuate this part. Put it all underneath. Where's that one? Okay, and I wanna make sure it's not stuck in the crease. Drag it out. But I don't want it everywhere. I just want it in those little areas. I don't want it stuck in the creases. Okay. Rather like that. I don't know why this thing is weird. Okay, so there's that, and then he's got, I just love this neck, it is so detailed. Lots of depth. He's got a spot there that I want to put blue on. You can kind of go up like that if you want to. And I'm just gonna make it a little bit shaded so it looks nice. I did not get that straight on tonight. We got a stray mark here. I'm glad I didn't bake it. Okay. I'm going to put everywhere. Some there. Wipe that off. Put some there. Use this some kind of blend it out a little. Put some right on there. blend it out. If your baby has rooted hair or barely there hair, if you pencil it, put some right there too in the thumbnail. Usually you can see it when sculptors put it on there. It'll probably be covered with hair, but I just wanted to show you guys. You see it looks a little deeper now. I'm going to put right there. I'll put a little more here. Oh, so he's just born, so I want him to look. He's going to be a dark red, so I just want him to look very, very newborny. And we can also, if you want, we can also put just a little bit down a little bit, just to give that eye socket a little bit more of a show. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm going to go back over this when the sun isn't so bright, just to make sure I've got it even, like I want. I can kind of tell, but not super well. Okay, so that's his shading as far as the blue. Oh, I forgot his ears, darn it. Okay, I do this anyway for all of them. Make that. And right in there where the ear socket is. Ear hole, I don't know what that's called. Ear hole, ear socket. Oh, come here. Hopefully your brush doesn't do that. May have to get a new one. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of fan it out. I'm not going to like put it everywhere, but I really want to blend it out. And I don't want it extra. I don't want it extra everywhere. Just to make those little deeper pockets look deeper. Okay. The same with this one. Right in there in that hole. Now, I haven't baked this, but that red has been drying all night, so it shouldn't. All night, overnight, whatever. So it shouldn't. Man, you silly thing. So it shouldn't interfere. Make sure you get it up on that right there. Wipe. Hang on a second, guys. I want to see something. Kind of wiped off what I shouldn't have. I was just telling you guys it wouldn't matter, and it obviously did. So, yikes. Okay. I'm just evening this out, guys. Hang on. I really like that side. Okay, that's pretty good. So be really careful. If you don't bake it, it kind of wipes a little off when you do this one because it's too strong. But if you go like this with something like a makeup brush, it's a little easier. And it won't smear. Alrighty. And again, go back over it before you bake. Let it dry. Go back over it. You may see some areas are a little darker and you may not want it dark. Okay. I'm going to put that in there. And because I used that with the red and I blushed it, I don't want to do what happened to the ears, and so I'm just gonna kind of pat it and then wipe off where I don't want it. Okay, and I'm also going to put a little in there like we did the ear. Okay, that's good for that one. Now this isn't supposed to be falling in the creases. It's supposed to be little spots between the creases. So if you get it down into the crease, make sure you wipe it up so it doesn't pool. Okay. Now sometimes you can put it on the fatty part of the thumb here, but I'm not going to do that with this baby. Okay. I'm going to put some here, which I normally don't, so I'm experimenting. I want it to look shadowed. Okay. And I'm going to put some outside the creases if I can help it. You see that? I'm not putting it in the crease, I want it outside the crease. So I'm trying to be careful. Pat, pat, pat. Or bounce, 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 whatever you want to say. Not in the crease. Okay. And now we're going to do right up under the ankle, inside ankle. Again, pat, pat, pat. And you're going to double check the limbs to make sure that the legs, the blue matches all the limbs, or close enough to it that it doesn't look too obvious on one and super light on the other. Okay. My stomach acts like it's never fed before. I did eat. It's just not liking me very much right now. Okay. And I think I did the inside of the ankle over there, so I'm going to do inside again here. And I'm double checking over here to make sure it's about the same. It's kind of close. Alright, that's that, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do, eyes hurt. Now we're gonna do a mottling layer, so get out your sponges and find the one you use for, this is the one I've been using. My bag of sponges here. What is that one? Oh, that's purple. I want that one. Oh, well, this is close enough. I don't know if this is the blue and yellow I mix up to make it pretty close, or if it's the one that I use for, it's definitely not the one I use with the blue thing. Oh, I don't really see it in there. And that's a lot of sponges in it. That's okay, I like to use sponges. I want that paint to soak inside that sponge well. Okay. Oh, and when you bake, you just fold up a washcloth so it has a nice support. And this is really not scary to do on. You just do it like you would do a leg or an arm. So it's really no different. Crease, you hit every crease, or almost every crease. You know, there's probably some that has such small creases they don't look very deep, and those you would just blush. So you wouldn't have to like crease them. So you just do the same level of consistency paint on the belly plate as you would the limbs. You may change it a little bit if you are having to like neutralize or try to match up the paint. Just make sure you get all the little areas. Okay. You looking for something? I just had it. Is it on the table? It's empty. Oh dear. I know I have some extra tape. I just don't remember what I did with it. Don't you hate that when you know you've got packing tape but you don't remember where you put it? Huh. Weird. Alright. Grab another part. Now some people, they may not put as much or as dark mottling on the face as they would the rest of the head. I found that I prefer, where's my brush? Goodness, I lost the brush. There it is. I found that I prefer the same amount on there. It doesn't matter to me if it's too dark. I mean, if it's darker on the back of the head than the front of the head, that's fine. But I like a lot of mottling. So when I previously started painting, I didn't really like all the mottling, but I've realized over the years that it really makes the baby more realistic. Gives the baby more depth. So it is completely up to you what you like. The more you paint, the more of an idea you'll have about what you like and what you don't like. And then, like other artists, people can look at your stuff and go, oh yeah, that's definitely so-and-so's. So, I mean, if you look at the prototype artists, you can tell Jacqueline Kramer's stuff from Shailene Maxwell or Holly Paz or Sylvia Creations. I don't remember her name, but you can always tell that, you know, hey, that's a Holly Paz baby or that's a Shailene Maxwell baby. Just because they have the same style. You know, their signature style. So once you have been painting a while, you will develop your style as well, which is really cool because then you can be all like, hey, I'm making consistent babies. That's pretty awesome. Don't forget behind the ears. This thing has a weird lump, so don't forget the lump. It's so weird to paint in the sun like this. Makes things a little bit more difficult for me. And we will put 2 layers on. I'm just going to show the 1 layer though. I'm sure you guys can go back and put a second one on yourself. Okay. Come here, baby. Oh, come here, baby. Like. Stop that. You're so curled up, you don't want to pay it. You don't want to work. You don't want to work for me. Manipulating vinyl does not hurt the baby. And I would suggest moving the fingers first and then like doing all edges of the fingers as you go and try not to smudge. So I would do the fingers first and then go around it. So hopefully I wouldn't be smudging. I'm trying to hold the part that's already painted to get to the fingers isn't good for the paint because then you smudge the paint. That's what I'm trying to say. This arm's so curled up. At least the vinyl's soft and you can manipulate it easier. Some of the vinyl I've had are a little on the hard side, and it's hard to like move the limbs out of the way to get in there in the joints where the arm bends. It's kind of hard to manipulate it if the vinyl's not soft enough. So I'm going to start by pulling this one back. And I'll pull this one back. Get right up in there. Go. You would try to do the same with the feet. You know, sometimes it's easier when you squeeze them like this to get in between than when you're actually trying to, like, however you can do it, it's fine. Try to get all of the surface done, because if you miss, I mean, if you miss here and there, it's not that big of a deal, but if you consistently miss it, then the vinyl isn't getting painted, and it will be obvious. And all these modeling layers are making the skin tone, not just giving it texture. When I do modeling layers, they build up the skin tone, and it's kind of like when you do the primary wash, when you do the whole thing, it just adds together. So I've had people ask me, hey, what colors do you use for the skin tone? And I have to tell them, well, I use modeling layers in a whole bunch of colors. So, and not all the babies are the same. Like, I switch up the colors depending on what color the kit is originally and what color skin tone I'm going for. Like, if I want a strawberry and cream versus a peach and cream, you know, obviously the colors would not equal the same. So. This is a peach. You would want to use more of your browns and earthy tones, and the strawberries and cream you would want to keep with more pinks and purples. On the warm side. Keep it light. Think pastel. Oh man. Stomach, stop it. And the next thing I'm going to do is the purple modeling. And like, again, I'll do the purple modeling and then I'll bake it, and then we'll see how that goes. I may have to go back and put another layer of blue or purple on there. So, but I wanted to show you the different colors. If you want 2 layers, great. If you only want 1, great. It doesn't really matter. We'll just keep going until we're happy with it. I'm trying not to make a bazillion videos. It shouldn't, but sometimes making videos slows me down. I have to be careful. I'm in the laundry room, so if I've got a lot of laundry to do, I have to put it on instrumental music, so it's muted. You can't hear me talking. It's just that license-free music in the background, which, I mean, it's okay if I don't have to talk, but I'm sure you guys would like to know what I'm doing whenever I'm painting instead of having to figure it out. I don't know. Like rooting, I don't have to tell you, hey, do this, do that, but okay. I am done with this layer, I think. Over there. Okay, man. I'm missing left and right. Wonder why. Put right there and that little toe. Okay. Good enough. I'm gonna check in here outside the light. See what I think about the shading. Shading looks good. The blue looks good. I'm gonna do some purple. Okay, this is the eyelid purple I had. I'll clean out this brush. Is that the eyelid purple? No, that is not the eyelid purple. This is. But it's old and yucky, so we will clean it out. Okay, no biggie. Eyelid purple. Fuzzies. Let's go a little more in there. Because I use this for the purple shading too, so mix up enough. And I'm going to be working on this guy for the next couple of weeks. And I'm also working on, oops, where's mine? I'm also working on Mr. Lucas here. Isn't he cute? I haven't started. I've got him primed, but I'm yet to put paint on him. But I'll be putting paint on him too. And I'll be working on him. And I don't plan to record painting him, but I'll be doing it at the same time. My mind just went blank there for a second. Okay, so I want the sponge that I use, purple mottling. Okay. Let this soak in nice. Okay, and we'll start with the belly plate. And it's okay to put color on top of color as long as it's dry. The bottom layer is dry. A lot of paint on the sponge. Oop. Should we put it up on the edge? Alright, there's that one. Oh, come on, you. Let go. These little holes. Makes it hard to pull off of the... I'm going to be really careful, even though it's dry. not accidentally rub off anything. Plop of paint there. It's yellow. Weird. I gotta see. Must have bumped it up against the palette when I did something with it. It's got that blonde paint on there. Okay, so all there. Okay, where's the other arm? Okay, so I'm gonna do Did you find your tape? I know we have some somewhere, I just don't know what to do with it. We've got a tape gun. I guess the tape gun's into it. And I'm pretty sure I saw a roll of tape somewhere. Anywho, I'll probably get up and look for it here in a minute. Alrighty, not too bad. And then after this, go ahead and bake it so we can start doing more shading. And after you get done baking this, go ahead and hit the creases again for sure. And then we'll do shading. So, you don't have to bake it after you do the creases again. So we won't be rubbing that off when we do the crease, or we won't be rubbing creases off whenever we're doing shading, so it's okay to leave that. But since this baby is a freshy newborn, he's going to be red, and then I'm going to make his hands and feet a little on the lighter purple side. So he should look fresh caught. That sounds funny, doesn't it? He should look fresh caught whenever we're done with him. Definitely want to put some underlying blood flow, the optical illusion of blood flow. That's what modeling does. Makes it look like the flesh is alive. Alright, check your baby over. Make sure it's consistent, like one leg isn't darker than the other kind of thing. And bake it. You can put 2 layers of both colors on there, whatever you need, bake it, and then if you think it needs more color after it's baked, because after you bake it, it lightens up, we can go back and do that again. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright, that's it. Dry and bake.